David Biondi-Odo was born with a disability into a sport-loving Indigenous family in regional Queensland. Somehow he's turning that into an outstanding start in the highly competitive international contemporary dance scene. He's recently returned from a scholarship overseas. Peter McCutcheon went to meet him.
5, 6, 7, 8. Now keep this under yourself.
David Biondi-Odo came late to dancing. He took up the art form just over 2 years ago after watching a performance of the Indigenous dance troupe Bangarra.
I just fell in love with the rawness and the power of their performance. And it was really rare, but I was like, oh, I want to do that. I want that to be me.
Continuing to carve up the Capras, and this try came thanks to David Biondi-Odo.
But he had no dancing role models. His family from Innisfail in northern Queensland is more associated with rugby league than the fine arts, with 3 of his brothers playing in the state competition for Northern Pride.
You come from a family of football players. Yeah. What made you think that you could be a dancer?
I guess I always loved to watch dancing, and I don't know, I don't know if I knew I could do it. I think it was a longingness to do it and want to do it.
Show us, you ready? 5, 6, 7, and 1, 2.
After dropping out of his nursing degree and being accepted into the Aboriginal Centre for the Performing Arts in Brisbane, the hard work began. And last year he came under the tutelage of renowned dancer and legend of the Sydney dance company, Bradley Chatfield.
When you first saw David, he'd barely been dancing for a year, had he?
Yeah, that's, and I think he'd probably want to be the first ones to admit it as well. I mean, he has great performance quality and stuff, but technique was lacking, and I guess confidence was lacking as well.
Part of that search for confidence has been overcoming a disability.
I was born with a cleft lip and palate. So I had a big hole in my face, so I was constantly in and out of surgery from a young age. I'm still waiting on a couple of surgeries now, waiting for my bone structure to fully grow before I can fully do the rest of them.
In August, David Biondi-Odo was selected as one of 12 Indigenous dancers from around the world for a scholarship in Canada. The Calgary Herald described this performance as shockingly mature.
It was probably the hardest thing I ever done dance-wise, because here I was two years in dancing, and I was picked with people who were dancing in the French ballet and Black Grace and all these amazing companies, and I'm just like, oh well, I'm still training.
From going from no confidence and lacking in technique to always being here and always trying hard to getting a full scholarship to go to the Banff Indigenous Dance Residency in Canada this year is a pretty dramatic leap within 2 years.
Unlike David, Kia McGrady has been dancing since she was 2, following a family tradition.
My mum used to do dance at school, and my dad also did traditional dance. When we were really little, he used to go to schools and events and stuff.
But she's also secured an overseas breakthrough. She's been accepted into a 5-month residency with the Kibbutz Dance Company in Israel. Kia still finds it difficult to believe she passed the audition.
There were so many people there, I didn't realise that they would actually notice me. A few weeks later, they emailed me and I was like, did they send it to the right person? I wasn't sure.
Probably the confidence with Kia could be up just a little bit as well, but I think this will give her the confidence to explore and see what she wants to do after the residency in Israel.
Down, standing up nice and tall and big smiles here. Ready? 1, 2, 3.
David Biondi-Odo and Kia McGrady were amongst 42 students from the Aboriginal Centre for the Performing Arts to graduate at a ceremony in Brisbane last week.
Dance Department graduates receiving the Award of Advanced Diploma. David Biondi-Odo. Kia Kiki McGrady.
Did you ever think you'd turn out to be a dancer? always been interested in dance. He's always been very good in the arts. He's probably taken it on a little later in his life, but very proud, and I think he'll go a long way.
So when you do the drag up, that it netted to that suspension.
The young dancers have performed together as recently as last month. Kia pursuing her childhood dream, and David still coming to terms with how his life has changed so quickly.
I had no training or no technique whatsoever. I knew nothing about dance. All that I knew is that I wanted to do it. And fate decided that it was me to do it too, I guess.